Evening. I'm Manuel and I'm hailing from the United Kingdom, actually from the city of Canterbury in Kent. As you probably guessed by now from the title of this video, I'm going to review the Epson Runsense SF-810 running watch, which is right here. Epson has kindly sent me one for me to review, so that's what I'll be doing over these next couple of months. So first and foremost, a little bit about myself. So I do my runs, obviously. That's why I signed up for this. But my background is actually from rowing and sculling. So I actually started running because I started rowing, and then one thing led to the other. So I do relatively short runs. I mean, I've done a couple of half marathons, some 10Ks. Mostly I like to run outside the city, parks and things. So but a bit of everything, and I like in the hardware that I use in terms of gadgets and stuff to be able to use them in multiple sports more than running. So actually I already have a running watch before Garmin sent me this Epson sent me this one. The one I have is actually a Garmin, so an old one, 310 XT, which is a multi-sport, and I will try my best not to do a full-blown comparison between the two, because they are different. They are directed to different markets. So obviously the 310 XT is meant for triathletes. This one is marketed as a running watch, although as far as I read in some reviews, it can actually do tracking of cycling and other sports, and it withstands immersion in water, so technically one could use it swimming, so you would be able to use this in more than just running. Okay, so I will be using this device, which I should perhaps to start with describe a little bit about what it does. So the biggest thing that I've read, I mean, I received the specs, but I had a quick look at some reviews. There's one from the Rainmaker, as probably many people know and follow that website, which gives it a very interesting record of what the watch is capable of. The biggest thing is actually how fast and how accurate the GPS is. Apparently the GPS chip is pretty accurate, so I'm gonna test that. And it features an optical heart rate monitor on the back of the unit, so effectively I can monitor my heart rate without using a chest strap, which is something that people are used to using. But sometimes, I mean, trust me, I've ran one half marathon with one of those, and I mean, it tends to annoy you after a while. I also want to look into the possibility of it being used as an everyday watch, because sometimes, I mean, you go to work and you may be able to sneak out for a quick run. You have your trainers, but you just, oh bloody, I forgot my running watch at home. Okay, well, I have to track it somehow. Ideally you should be able to have the watch with you and then just snuck out and off we go. With this one, it's really not practical, and to be honest with you, it doesn't even display the time. So actually it's quite funny that people sometimes ask me the time if I'm at the boathouse, and oh well, hold on, I have to turn on the Garmin. So effectively I'm going to look also into the how feasible it is to use this as an everyday watch. Obviously also look into the multi-sport side of it. I've heard that it can be used for tracking cycling. I've used that it can be used for walking as well. It also has an accelerometer, so I can use it when the GPS signal is not available, so which is something I want to try as well, because obviously my previous watch relied solely on GPS, although I could add a foot sensor. And when you're running in a tunnel or in a viaduct, you just get all the specs messed up. The biggest grudge I've heard in all the reviews I've read was about the companion software. This watch has Bluetooth, so it can connect to the phone and transfer the workouts directly there and sync them with the cloud, namely with a plethora of fitness accounts like Strava, just to name one. But as far as I'm aware, via phone it's quite slow. I haven't tried it yet, and I'm going to test it soon. The other thing is apparently the companion software for the computer. The major complaint I've heard was that it wasn't very polished, so we'll see about that. An additional complication is the fact that I'm a Linux user, so obviously I'm not expecting any major manufacturer to be supporting Linux, especially for a product like this. But so I will try my best, have a virtual machine with Windows, because I mean Epson does provide support for both Windows and Mac. Right, so stay tuned, and I'm going to just open it up and power it on and see how it all works. I took all the items from the box, and here they are. So as you can see, there's plenty of paperwork, so I'll just move the watch and this aside for a while. This is probably the most important document of them all, because it's the quick start guide, and as you can see, it's pretty well organized. I would say this is probably the most important thing, and perhaps you want to keep this handy until you get used to the watch and to all of its functions. Obviously this doesn't tell you everything, but most of it is self-explanatory, and you can then configure many of the features also through the phone. We should see that on a later video. In addition to the English version of the Quick Start Guide, you also have one in French and one in German. Yes, German. Then there's some declaration of conformity, information sheet, some warnings, but pretty much the full manual is included in PDF format, downloadable from Epson's website. This is all you basically have, effectively hardware-wise. So as you can see, there's no AC adapter included, it's optional, but I don't think it's a deal breaker, because I mean, it has a USB socket. If you're traveling, you have a phone, you have a tablet, you can charge it, you have a charger for this, so it's fine. This is the charger, and also doubles as a docking station for the computer. So as I said earlier, this can talk to a phone and upload the exercises via Bluetooth, but it can also sync everything through the docking station, and I've been told that actually that's faster. We'll see. I haven't tested it yet properly. Right, so docking station, it fits very nicely in the docking station, so as you can see, charges, and then you just remove it like that. Fits nice and snug, connection is safe, so that's all you want really. Okay, let's put that aside. So this is the watch itself. Let me try and position this in a way that people can see. So, as you can see, it's already showing the time, so I've powered it up and charged it until 100%, which was what people wanted, Epson wanted in the Quick Start Guide. And I'm gonna put it on my wrist now because I want to show you something. So after a quick configuration step, which should be pretty much self-explanatory, so it's actually asking you about your age, gender, weight, height, so for calorie calculations and stuff. It ends up in this main screen. So this is, well, it's just displaying the date and time, and effectively it can be used like in this mode as an everyday watch, which is absolutely fine. One thing, if it doesn't detect any movement for a while, the screen will turn off, but because of the built-in accelerometer, the time will come back again once you move. So obviously if you're moving around, it will always stay on. Let me just position it properly, because the other thing, so this is without any training mode or anything. You can just fire up the heart rate monitor, which, as I said, it's optical, so it's on the back of the unit and pressed against my my arm. So if I press this button here, it will start measuring my heart rate. So the little heart symbol is flashing at the moment, and once it finds my heart rate, it will become stationary. For now, I've just tested it around the house, so I actually haven't tried logging it whilst exercising. So we shall have a test on that, and I will try to compare it against the conventional method, i.e. using a chest strap, to see how much it differs. Right, so, and then you press the little button again, and it comes back to the main watch mode. My impressions regarding how it feels. So, it was surprisingly light. I wasn't expecting it to be so light, which is nice. I mean, obviously, when you're running, you don't really want to have something massive hanging from your wrist. I even dropped armbands years ago, so I'm not running with phones or music sometimes, but with a small MP3 player, not with a phone, because it's very uncomfortable after a while to have big armbands. So effectively it's quite nice and light, and it can really be used as an everyday watch. I mean, it doesn't stand out. I've asked other people and they say, oh, it's not too different from the usual watch that you're carrying, which, yeah, it's a beaten up old Casio, so it's similar in terms of size. The other thing is, apparently the battery life on this is quite amazing. I mean, I've charged it last night, and it's been on this mode. I've turned on the GPS a couple of times, but obviously I haven't taken it out yet. We'll do that over this week. And well, the battery in standby should last a lot of time, which is quite amazing given the footprint of the watch. Right, so I think for now that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously when I take it out, I will be able to see how it holds in rainy weather, in not so warm weather, because I mean, it's winter, although these past couple of days have been quite mild. This watch should be able to perform equally as well in close to 0 degrees. I've had experiences in the past of watches misting up from the inside, even though they were completely waterproof. So we'll see how this one behaves. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next video in which I will actually take it outside and experiment its different functions. Well, thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you on my next video. Thank you.